Hi there, welcome to Grain TV. It's Thursday, September 15th, a mixed day in the markets. Let's take a look at Grain Edge's trading platform and see where we closed. In Chicago, soybeans managing to close higher, gaining 7.25 cents a bushel, while corn closing below 330, losing 2.5, and Chicago wheat off 4.25. News today, let's start first of all with export sales. USDA announced some flash sales for soybeans, 110,000 metric tons to unknown destinations. This is the first time in a week we've had any sort of flash announcements, and the number was not particularly impressive. So overall, this was not a huge deal for beans, but it did help support the market going into this morning's trade session. Other news out today, NOPA crush numbers. This too was disappointing, coming in at 131.8 million bushels for the month of August versus expectations that had looked for 136.2. So again, crush numbers were not as good as what traders had looked for, but we've been selling soybeans off, and so I think soybeans took a break from this and moved a little bit higher. Other news, USDA's regular routine weekly export sales announcements were out today. Here again, nothing to write home about. Corn coming in below expectations at 724,000 metric tons, wheat coming in at 400,000 metric tons, and soybeans nearly an even 1 million metric tons. So really, overall, this is a market that's sort of struggling for any sort of direction one way or the other. We did see a little bit of bounce off of the 940 mark in November. Beans getting up into 950, but D's corn falling below 330 is not very supportive either. So overall, I think we're going to continue to grind lower into harvest. We'll see harvest start to pick up pace, although we do have some weather that looks to be wet this weekend, and the longer term 16 to 30 day outlook for weather shows a bit more rain than normal, so that may slow harvest as well. But when we look at basis levels, in corn, we're seeing some basis levels start to firm a little bit, not overly so, but we are seeing some ticks up at river terminals and ethanol plants as we get closer to harvest. Probably some slow pipeline sales being made at this juncture as farmers start to go out into the field. But when we look at sort of the range of where we're at now versus where we were last year at this time, ethanol markets are well below where they were this time last year, trading about 6 to 7 cents a bushel below last year. River, on the other hand, river terminals are holding up fairly well, on par with where they were last year. I would expect us to see a fairly big drop in basis once we get into the bulk of harvest. Traditionally speaking, we see the basis low sometime before we reach the 2/3 mark in harvest. So, once we get past that 2/3 mark, we start to get some basis improvement in the spot basis, and I would expect sometime in late October or maybe the third week in October, depending on how the season rolls out. But look for lower basis numbers as we move into harvest in the coming weeks. That's all we've got for today on Grain TV. As always, if you'd like to learn more about how we can help you in your own grain marketing situation, visit us online at grainhedge.com. As a Grain Edge trading client, you'll get our technical alerts email first thing every trading day. Technical Alerts is a powerful system that generates quality trading opportunities. Each trading opportunity shows a chart and analysis providing clear price targets and risk potential. Technical Alerts look at historical chart formations and compare the current environment to the past to form concrete trading recommendations. The commodities covered by Technical Alerts includes grains, livestock, crude oil, currencies, bonds, and metals. Start your trading day with the most powerful insight into market direction and improve your trading today. Sign up at grainhedge.com to become a client.